Everybody's enjoying their night. It is the group chat, a little after hours. We are live. I am Casey. This is Damien. This is Nick. Hope everybody is enjoying their day. Kick back with us, man. We're going to be hanging out for the next, I don't know, however long we'll be kicking and talking some sports, talking maybe some other things going on. Gentlemen, how were our days today? I know, Damien, you said you had one of them days.
Yeah, it was one of those days today. In fact, it was enough that I just decided, hey, let's just have a long weekend. We're going to take tomorrow off and enjoy the Good Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and reroute and go back to work on Monday.
Nothing wrong with that. Mr. Hebert, how was your day today, sir?
Worked. Now I'm ready to do this.
Yeah.
What's with the hoodies? That's 2 days in a row you
wear,
got
bro.
hoodies on.
That's what I wear.
You a constant hoodie guy?
Yeah, I'm a constant hoodie guy. Don't jack my swag.
Well, I was wearing something that would have been deemed inappropriate by our audience. I had to change that just a second ago, but that's okay. We're going to just shoot from the hip. We're going to just talk about some stuff happening in the world of sports. We got an NBA game going on right now. We will talk about that. I think the Heat.
Put that on.
Yeah, the Heat dusted off the Bulls, or they're in the process of dusting off the Bulls. See, it's 3:38 left in the fourth quarter, according to ESPN. You think at my house on my TV the game's already over?
It's over there into the second game already.
Do you think game one of the games on Saturday have started yet on my TV?
Was that the first game of the day?
Yeah, first game. The Heat got a big lead over Chicago. They're going to be punching their tickets. Well, no, they're not going to be punching their ticket. They're going to actually be playing the team that lost the other play-in game out east. So the Heat will be playing the Hawks for the spot to be the 8th seed. So the winner of that game is going to get the honor of getting destroyed by the Cavaliers in the opening round. And then later in the late game, we have Dallas and Sacramento, and the winner of that game is going to play Memphis for the honor of getting destroyed by Oklahoma City in the opening round. So, yeah, we got our playing games. Exciting time. Don't know who the hell those guys are for the Bulls out there on the floor. We were talking about that earlier. Miami. White. Yeah, Kobe White. Miami doesn't have Jimmy Butler anymore, which is kind of interesting. I'm trying to see if my over-under bet hit. I had under for Kobe White. Amen, baby. Under. So that works. Nick, your parlay. Wonk, wonk.
Not going to hit.
Dude, the Bulls have 12 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Well, who do they have to score? Kobe White had scored in 10 years.
Giddy has 25. He's been scoring well, never mind.
25 points and should have 25 in jail.
Dude, your Yankee bet didn't hit today either, man. I think
2 days in a row.
Torpedo bats have been figured out some, dude. We gotta readjust our strategy there. Because I didn't take it today, but it's not because I was against it. I just forgot. But yeah, we might have to revisit our game plan there, Nick, because it hasn't been working out the last couple of days.
I look at the
good
pictures.
Commentary there, Nick.
I was watching the game. I look at the pictures of the game, and if I don't know them,
you roll?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if I do know them, I still roll, but not as much money.
So you didn't have a great scouting report on Chris Bubik today of the Royals? Yeah.
What's the spread on the late game here?
The late game today is, I want to say, the Kings by 5 against Dallas. I took over, and I'll tell you, it was over 213. It actually has risen to 6.5, which leads me to believe Dallas might have an injury or something that we don't know about.
Probably Anthony Davis.
Yeah, they're anticipating him getting hurt in the first quarter. No, never mind. It's 6.5 or 5.5. That's what it was earlier today. I looked at it wrong, but I do have over 213 in that one. Early predictions. Who we got tonight? The Kings and the Mavs.
I'm not going with the Mavs at all.
No Kyrie.
Kings could score. They've been able to score for the last decade, and now the Mavericks. I think they're in that conspiracy lane. They're not moving on.
I was asked about that, and I actually saw this question after we did our mailbag yesterday. How would you fix the Suns? The Suns didn't even make the playoffs at all. You got Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Grayson Allen, Kevin Durant, Royce O'Neal. They have the most expensive NBA payroll in history, and they didn't even make nothing, like not even the play-in, nothing. They fired their coach, Budenholzer, the old Bucks guy. I don't know that it was his fault or not, whatever, but...
Was that the pitcher in Rookie of the Year?
Warm up, you're going in, kid.
Garden Hoser.
Dude, is Kevin Durant washed, man? Is Bradley Beal just a bum? Like, everywhere he goes, he loses no matter, like, what's the situation? Most expensive payroll ever, and they don't even make the play-in. That's like such a Pelicans thing to do.
That is very accurate. I don't know how you don't make the playoffs with Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. I mean, talk what you want about Bradley Beal. He's a head case, but so was every other NBA player. But Devin Booker, great shoes. I don't know what that mean. Obviously, that doesn't mean anything, but great shoe. I don't know if he signs off on that, but I'm a Devin Booker guy strictly because of the shoes.
I think Kevin Durant just checks out after about 2 or 3 years. If things aren't going great, he just checks out and it's over.
New team coming up?
Yeah.
There's a lot of rumors tying him to Houston. So my question would be, why would the Rockets even do that? Like, they're the 2 seed right now. Why would you even, at this point, want him? I mean, I get it. He's a great player, but he's not been happy, like, anywhere ever. So I don't know. If you're Houston, would you do that? You got all these young pieces, Jabari Smith and Jalen Green.
It sounds great, but I think he's the problem. Like, if they get him, they're on the rise. They might not be on the rise after 3 years.
Yeah,
but if you go by your logic, he's got 2 good years. So just get rid of him the third year after he checks out.
Yeah, now he's getting up there now. He's in his mid to late 30s. That's another thing, too. These guys that we used to think were the young stars are now the old stars. That's kind of creepy because it means we're getting old, too. Let's talk about this, boys. Mel Kiper released a mock draft today, and he released a 3-round mock draft today. And in it, he has the New Orleans Saints picking Shador Sanders of Colorado. I did and we can maybe even get some up-to-date commentary here. We posted a graphic asking fans what they thought and who they wanted. I have not seen anybody vote for Shador Sanders yet. Well, let's see what we got. We posted a graphic. Who do you want, Shador or Jackson Dart? And through 12 comments so far, we have Marcus saying, no way, either of them are number 9 material. Arlie Davis says, correct. Dart will be gone before the 9th pick. Ain't no way. Yeah, no way in hell. Corey and Alicia Delcom say neither. Take Membu if he's available. Then you have your bookend tackles for the future. So we got a guy saying, or gal saying offensive lineman. Mr. Mel Gitros, trade down 5 to 8 picks. Get 2 extra picks to get younger sooner rather than later. If Dart is available at the swapped pick, take him there. So someone saying what Tommy was saying, trade down and maybe get him.
Did Tommy say that once or twice?
Get him if he's available. Let's see. Marvin Vining, Dart 2nd round if he's there. If not, the 1st round. Arlie Davis again saying if the Saints want the next Jamarcus Russell, then go with Sanders. But if the Saints want the next Drew Brees, go with Dart. Come on now. That's a little bit of a stretch. It ain't the next Drew Brees. Either one, Jerry Hemel says, either one, they're both better than Carr. I think we could agree with that. Joey Schwest says Jackson Dart. Matthew Smith says neither.
You gotta have somebody to play that position. It's only the most important position in football.
Yeah. Who's going to be the Saints starting quarterback next year, Nicholas?
Spencer Rattler.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah,
give Spencer the keys, man.
If he goes 0-17,
good.
Great.
Good, yeah.
If he goes 17-0, great.
I was telling this to Coach Colley today on play-by-play. Look, I'm exactly with you guys. If he plays well, he's your dude. If he doesn't and you suck, then, hey, that's okay too. Like, I feel like it's a win-win situation. Like, give him a shot. If it's good, then you got a guy. If it's not good, then you're going to get a guy. You got a first-year coach. There's no rush. He doesn't have to win next year. I wouldn't take either of these guys. I would pick a defensive lineman or something like Will Johnson. I'd take some sort of guy that could help my roster for the future, and I would roll it out with Spencer Rattler too.
Jihad Campbell.
Sounds like a...
No.
It sounds like a terrorist. Are we live here? We got some different topics that I would like to cover. My man Damien did some legwork today.
No, all I did was type that in a chat GPT.
That's cool. Yeah. Well, yeah, that still counts as legwork. What if scenarios, okay? I like this. I think about this one way more than what I should. What if Drew Brees signed with the Dolphins and not with the Saints? Would the Saints even still be in New Orleans if that would have happened?
Joe Horn would have moved them to San Antonio like he would have, like he wanted to. Sorry,
San Antonio Saints.
No, that's pretty good right there. That would have changed the whole football culture in the state of Louisiana. I mean, the Saints had 4 or 5 really, really good years, 6 good years. And aside from that, they haven't done anything. If Drew Brees doesn't come to town, who's the starting quarterback that year?
Do we get Culpepper?
Oh God!
Well, I love me some Dante Culpepper.
Yeah, I would have took that at the time. Absolutely would have took that.
So now there's another layer to the onion here, boys. The coach of the Dolphins at the time was Nick Saban. He would have succeeded in the NFL. He would have never gone to Alabama. Would Alabama have even sniffed the run? But look, their coach before Saban was Shula, who was, I was about to drop an F-bomb. Let's not do that. Who was, you know what, terrible. Yeah, would Alabama have been any good? Okay, and then there's another layer. A lot of times the only team that was better than LSU was Alabama. Would Les Miles still be our freaking head coach right now if Drew Brees would have gone to Miami?
Look, you look at that, and look at the trickle-down effect that has right now. Because if the Saints have to go with Dante Culpepper, that means it's not, you never see Randy Moss and Dante Culpepper. If Drew Brees have that same relationship and same magic that he did with Sean Payton? Look, winning a Super Bowl obviously is one of the hardest things in the world to do because you got to have so many people on the same page, and this place would get it if we was all on the same page. You got so many people that have to have that in mind and have to have – you got to have some luck and you got to have some magic. You got to stay injury-free. Does that happen in Miami? Does that happen? That chemistry happen with Saban and Brees, or was that just a magic in the works with Sean Payton and Drew Brees?
Oh, dude, can you imagine the year 2025? A 72-year-old Les Miles getting LSU ready for the 2025 season, and we just can't fire him because he's got like 3 championship rings. Like.
Okay. He would have had Will Campbell at quarterback last year.
Joe Burrow would have never happened. That would have never happened.
Listen. I'm a Tiger, true and true. I've given up on him more times than I really want to admit, but never really said it out loud. But man, so let's go this route. Worst LSU starting quarterbacks in the last 20 years.
Oh, Jesus. Andrew Hatch, but he was a walk-on, and he was absolutely terrible. That was Etling.
Listen, don't talk bad about Danny Etling.
He did beat BYU.
Wasn't there a hashtag Dan Etling is a good quarterback?
Look, going back on some of our old podcasts, it was an episode just me and you. We were giving Danny Etling the green light to chunk it, and obviously that's why we're sitting here.
He played in the NFL for a little bit, though.
Yeah, so did Matt Maul.
Yeah. But he's better than Jennings and Brandon Harris, and I mean
we didn't even touch Jarrett Lee or Jordan Jefferson yet. That was so bad. Our best quarterback in that time frame was a wide receiver, Russell Shepard.
That was my last year at LSU. That was the pick 6 year, and I was sitting in the classroom, and this is a really crappy thing to do, by the way, but. I was sitting in the classroom when Jarrett Lee walks in and everybody boos his ass out of the classroom.
Of course.
He walks in after throwing like 3 or 4 pick sixes against Georgia, and we're booing him in class.
You needed Scene with him to protect him.
Scene
guy.
He's
the great quarterbacks.
He was a big Jarrett Lee guy?
Oh, my God, yes.
Really?
I think he was more anti-Jordan Jefferson than anything. A random LSU trivia since we're just going off the cuff.
Yeah.
So during that time frame, there was a running back number 32. I think he was
Barrington Edwards.
There you go. How you read my mind?
That's what I think.
That's
got
creepy.
That Carolina. So he ended up transferring to North Carolina. And I remember playing with him in NCAA 2014 with the updated rosters.
So
stud.
I think the statute of limitations has gone away on this, so I could tell this story. I was living next door my senior year to a football player, and he made me privy to the script of the first 10 plays that they were going to be running. And I saw that in the first 10 plays, one Mr. Charles Scott was going to get 3 carries. And sports betting was not legal at the time, which is the reason why, hey, that's statute of limitations. I go on my offshore account, and I see Mr. Charles Scott over under 2.5 carries for the game, because he was not a starter yet at the time. And I'm thinking to myself, hey, wait, he's scheduled to get 3 carries in the first 10 plays. His over-under is 2.5. Yeah, I bet every penny that I freaking had. And now, let me tell you what, the first play, it was a carry to him. He got dinged, right? He was not out, but I was like, what are you doing? Like freaking out. And dude, like everything that I had at that time is like, like $800 or something like that.
Balling.
Yeah, balling. So he does go back in, and then play 4 was supposed to be a Charles Scott carry, but it was like 3rd and 20 or something. So I'm yelling at the team, "What are you doing, Les? It's supposed to..." Of course, he's throwing the ball, or knowing him, he was probably actually took the quarterback sneak, a real risky play on 3rd and 20. But needless to say, we did hit. He got like 5 carries, and we did win. But that's my little insider trading story for the day. I wish I could get my hands on those scripts again. It's good money.
I think we had. Well, I don't know. Back in those days, I was questioning if we had any strategy behind our offensive sets or anything. 3rd and 20, weak side,
inside toss
option, or weak side option was always fantastic.
Bubble screen.
Bubble screen. Oh, and we ran them so poorly too.
And we loved Mad Canada. Ugh. For like 4 hours.
Yeah, we did. No, all broad jet sweep, dude.
That was terrible there in that BYU game. All that motion for nothing.
Jesus.
Oh.
I remember it worked one game. That year they were losing to Auburn 21-0, and we came back and we beat that one game. All the Canada nonsense worked.
Yep.
And every other game it didn't work.
Isn't he with the Steelers now?
Oh, well, they fired his ass.
He's gone.
He was with the Steelers, and then they replaced him with the Falcons guy who has got the porn stash, Arthur Smith.
It's a good replacement. Anybody with a porn stash replacement is solid.
Right. Yeah. They'll be maybe dealing with Aaron Rodgers upcoming here. What do y'all think? Y'all think Aaron Rodgers got a little juice? I debate this with Coach Kylie all the time. He says absolutely, positively not. I think with the Steelers' defense, like, he's better than Russell Wilson and all, right? I mean, I think.
Look, I've gone on and you've chatted me about that a couple times, and I think he's got something left. And I'll hammer that point home again. Who else? Who else would you rather have? The bottom half of the NFL starting quarterbacks is god awful.
You'd rather than Derek Carr?
No. Oh yeah.
You'd rather than Derek Carr?
Yeah. Why don't the Saints go after Aaron Rodgers? 1 year plug and play. Got to be better than Spencer Rattler.
He might win us some games.
I was to say, I think that's that. I think you hit the nail on the head. I think they're not interested in winning, and I think that's exactly what we're looking at there. Let's see what we got here on the list. Let's talk some LSU football this year. Their shot Nussmeier does something stupid like winning the Heisman Trophy or anything. Like, he had a big ending to the year. Kind of looked like a wuss in the middle of the year. But the last quarterback that had a rough first year and then finished real strong was in freaking Superman mode the second season. Are we going to see some crazy stuff from Ole Nuss this year, man?
Let me tell you my Nuss ideology.
Yeah?
So you and I were the last 2 Jaden Daniels fans
in the world.
Yeah,
in the world.
Maybe Jacob Gyro, but I don't know if he took that on later. But anyway, we're his last 2 fans, and everybody wanted to see Nussmeier, and I will never forget his pick 6 against Southern.
I was there in the end zone that it happened, shooting pictures.
And everybody wanted Nuss. He came in. And look, everybody raved about that Wisconsin bowl game. And finally looked that great. Everybody raved about him. He came back last year, very up and down. And now we're coming back into this year. From what I gather, he's the lead. He's the guy in the clubhouse that everybody's rallying around, and you need that guy. And I'm glad he came back.
Yeah,
because if not, you got a huge question mark at the quarterback position. I think they'll win 9-10 games, and if he does something crazy, they can make a playoff run.
So the rumor on the street is that the big Michigan guy, Underwood, LSU was not willing to match his big high dollar money offer because they knew that Nussmeier was coming back. If Nussmeier would have told Coach Kelly in the middle to late stages of the season, "Hey, boss, I'm gone," would they have gotten desperate and ponied up that guy? Because Underwood has said, "I prefer LSU to Michigan, basically, but it was a dollar amount that I couldn't pass up." And we all get that. I mean, they threw a crap load of money at him. Would they have matched that money offer and would have went with Underwood?
I think you would have had to. You would have been forced to do that. But, look, the game's changed with NIL, and the game's changed with the money, and it's going to be changing even more, I'm sure, coming soon. But the fact that they got in front of that with Nussmeier and assured themselves that they had a quarterback coming into the 2025 season is pretty swift. You give Brian Kelly all the – I was about to say a bad one. You can give Brian Kelly all the flack in the world, but if he's making those kind of moves and he's making those kind of decisions and has those relationships with those players that he's willing to come back. Now, look, if Nussmeier would have went out this year, where would he have gotten drafted?
Yeah, the second round.
I mean, you're going to make probably more money sitting in Baton Rouge and being the head guy.
Well, you say that. Well, his dad's with the Saints now, so he'd have probably got pick number 9. If we're being honest, probably 9th overall. If we're
Daddy
being
ball now in New Orleans?
Daddy ball in New Orleans, yeah, I'm sure. It doesn't feel like we got to win the first freaking game of the year. Like, we're playing at Clemson, a true road game. I hate that we schedule games like this. I know it's a coward thing to say, oh, bro, LSU should be afraid to play anybody. Why can't we just play Ball State the first game of the year? We're going at Clemson, a true road game. I think LSU has a better team coming back than Clemson does, but until we show that we could be ready in week 1, I'm going to doubt that we're going to be ready in week 1. Game scares the hell out of me, man.
That had to be scheduled way in advance.
Way in advance. That was a big game.
That has to be something that they're going to do away with. Obviously, our teams haven't been starting very strong over the last, 4 years? 4 or 5 years, whatever that is, and I think they're going to go away from that once these contracts are done. But you got to get that first game out your system, work out the kinks and do the little things and figure it out, and then you go play the big boys after that.
Next year we have Clemson at home in Tiger Stadium, so we do get the return game. 2027, that's more like it. Houston, I'm okay with that. That's more a reasonable game. 2029, it looks like LSU's opening with McNeese. Beautiful. I love it.
You're learning from your mistakes. You got your lessons.
Yeah, you're learning from your mistakes. Nick, are we going to beat Clemson to open up the year, man, or is Brian Kelly's seat going to be burning hot after
Brian Kelly's going to Brian Kelly, and that first game is going to we just going to look terrible.
Nick, was it 2 years ago, 3 years?
Florida State.
Nick and I are sitting at a casino in Biloxi at the sports book watching this game, and there's this guy behind us. I don't know how much money he had in the game. Couldn't have been that much from the looks of the gentleman. Not to stereotype anything. But he was hooping and hollering, man. When they scored that last, when LSU scored that last touchdown, I was up and I was talking trash, and then we missed that field goal.
That was the worst.
Talk about tail between your legs, just
dude.
I don't know, was that worse or the following year we just got destroyed?
Nah, that's a good point too. Yeah. But Mario and I talked about this a lot when we were replacing Gus's show whenever ESPN was still there, is that looking back at it, last year, the fact that we went 9-3 or whatever we did really wasn't as bad because you were replacing the number 1 pick, you were replacing Malik Neighbors, you were replacing, Brian Thomas. But it's how in the hell didn't you make the playoffs with Jaden Daniels and all, like, 2 years ago? Why didn't we make we were scoring 50 points every game, we didn't make the playoffs. And the worst defense ever. Like, how does that happen? If we have just a C- defense, not even don't even need an A+, a C- defense, we go to the playoffs and maybe win it all. Anything but an F. And unfortunately, we had an F and still haven't yet made the playoffs. If they don't make the playoffs this year, he's gone, or does he approach the offseason just in an inferno, rather, what I meant to say, of you better get your ass there in 2026.
I really, really think LSU needs I'm a decent Brian Kelly fan. I'm probably down to, I was 100% in, and I'm probably decreasing by 10% every year. But there's so many options out there. The game has changed so much. It's kind of do or die for him right now. I know that buyout decreases as well, as my love for Brian Kelly decreases, his buyout decreases as well. Man, I would love to see a young buck in there, knowing the NIL game, knowing the system, with the resources that LSU has, with the money they have, the facilities they have, the fan base, as crazy as we are and as love and hate as we are, it's always, Tiger Stadium's always packed and supporting the team, even though we may be loud on some other stuff. But
the football version of Will Wade. Go find him. I don't know who it is.
Hire Will Wade and just get a bunch of good assistants.
Hire Will Wade.
Look, that's what they did with Coach O. I mean, he's just a motivator. He hired what they called him, CEO, because he just let his coordinators do what they were supposed to do.
Dude, did y'all see that video today on I'm never going to call it X, but did y'all see the video on Twitter of Bebe at Tulane's practice?
Mm-hmm. I did not.
Dude, doesn't he have the best gig in the world? Like, he literally now, and I'd imagine this is paid, he just, pops up at random college campuses, puts on their shirt, and just like goes to practice for a day or two and just like talks noise to the kids after, probably just gives them a hoorah pep talk. Like it's the best gig ever. And he did that at Tulane. He could still cut a promo. I don't know if you saw the video. Like he was going in. Like that's got to be the best job in the world. He just goes around the country, watches teams practice and do whatever, and then at the end just cuts a promo about how they're going to have a great season. Like that's got to be the best job ever.
And he got $25 million to leave LSU.
Yeah, 100%. He got a huge check to leave LSU to not coach. And then now he is traveling the country watching other people coach and has no stress and is dating a woman that's 30 years younger than
Hey, look,
him.
that's what a ton of like top Fortune 500 CEOs do. They retire and they go on the tour to talk. Hey, I didn't tell you this, and I'm not gonna say this on air. I'll tell you off.
All right,
It's some good information. I'm just not ready to release yet.
All right.
I don't know if I'm sworn to secrecy.
Sounds good. No worries.
Hey, since we are going off the cuff here,
What's up?
hammer Nick for a little bit. I'm gonna pull some stuff up and pull some random wrestling matches up, and we can kind of chat about it if we could get this to work.
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Yeah. We got
Yeah.
What was that again?
What?
Yeah.
The toolbox.
That's the toolbox.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Had some chemicals come in my eye.
Yes, it all coming back.
I was
to me.
looking at the odds for Heisman for next year.
Where's old Nuss Bus?
Nuss is number 2 after Arch Manning. So Nuss could potentially do it. I think he's on the pace to do it, to do exactly what Joe Burrow did, exactly what Jaden Daniels did, and Garrett Nussmeyer's the next one. To start, have a season where you kind of like, okay, well, this guy's not the guy. Come into the next season, guns a-blazing, wins the Heisman, and if any kind of defense would have been, we would have had any kind of defense on that team a couple of years ago with Jaden Daniels, we would have had a championship on that one too.
You know what's going to screw him, though, is the fact that he's going to have to be way better than Arch Manning to beat Arch Manning, just because of the name. It is what it is. Now, I say that they gypped Peyton and gave it to Charles Woodson, but
Number 3 on this list is Cade Klubnik.
that's Clemson?
Yep. So
All right, let's do
first game of the
this.
season.
Go down the list, and I'll see if I know the colleges. I probably won't even know the schools. Probably.
Drew Aller,
That's Penn State?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Jeremiah Smith,
Oh, Ohio State, yeah.
Julian Sayin,
That's the new Ohio State quarterback. He was an Alabama guy first and went to Ohio State. I actually interviewed him. That's why I know that.
Dante Moore,
Oregon,
Nico Amabataliva,
wherever the hell was going to pay, whichever.
Did he sign today?
He's flirting with UCLA pretty hard, but he's not all the way there yet.
I cannot navigate this.
Peacock is the worst, by the way, because you're right.
I'm old. I couldn't find the Masters, but I can edit podcast videos.
The old school WWE Network was easy. This is like what are we trying to find? Maybe I
Just a random pay-per-view. Not originals. If you're watching along at home right now, you better be enjoying this.
we struggle busting it. Do you have another? Or who's after Nico?
Carson Beck,
Now Miami,
yeah, Lenora Sellers,
South Carolina. Mod's boy.
DJ Lagway,
Oh god, that's freaking Tommy's boy. The guy I'm rooting against the most of anybody.
Was he even good last year?
he came out of college as the number 1 guy, I believe.
He beat our ass. No, I don't think he even did. Did he even play? Weren't they down to like their last quarterback in there?
I think he did play.
He was supposed to be out, but he ended up playing. Typical against LSU.
Gunnar Stockton,
That's
Georgia.
that's the guy who played after old boy got hurt. Yeah, Beck. Oh yeah, okay.
Ryan Williams,
That's Alabama's guy, the receiver, right?
Yeah, like the 17-year-old.
Yeah.
Ty Simpson.
Oh, that one I don't know.
Played too much college football. 24 hours to
Ty
not know where this is
Simpson. Can you help me with a position?
from. I have no idea.
Ty Simpson. I'm stumped.
I'm thinking Big East school. Not Big Ten, not Big East. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know any of these other dudes.
Where was Simpson? Do you know?
No.
Oh, it doesn't list it? Okay, I'll Google it. Ty
What kind of
Simpson.
list are you looking at if it didn't even have the school?
VegasInsider.com.
Ty Simpson has 380 career pass. Oh, he's Alabama's new starting quarterback.
Yeah, I was right on.
Yeah, no, he's a total jerk. Just because he's an Alabama guy. So, yeah, he played for Alabama last year. 14 of 25. He's not going to win the Heisman Trophy. Good God. His mop-up numbers are terrible. He, unfortunately, did play against LSU because they had mop-up duty when they were beating the hell out of us in Tiger Stadium last year. Oh, got Hogan and Andre. A little Hogan and Andre action. Who's the most overrated wrestler of all time, Nick?
Lex Luger?
Oh, not a Lex Luger guy?
Not at all.
No? Like, so you didn't mark out whenever you got Hogan in the rack and beat him and won the title? And
Of course. But still, the dude was so stiff. I mean, not like he hit me, but he just looked stiff in the ring.
So whenever you guys were working, he was rough with you?
He looked like he just woke up and he had some serious back problems, and he's like, "Oh, I can barely move my back because of I don't know." Probably didn't.
He's going into the
He was
hall.
probably very flexible.
There's some whispers that, so he's been paralyzed for a little bit now. He had some sort of issue that kind of screwed with him. But he's been working with DDP, and there's some whispers that this weekend at the Hall of Fame he's going to walk publicly for the first time. And I ain't going to lie, I am going to mark out if he does that.
I agree 100%. I've been watching some of his comeback videos and the work that Diamond Dallas Page does with some of these folks. Man, we're eating in Baton Rouge for a travel ball tournament, and there was like a Comic-Con version, wrestling version going on in the same area.
Yeah, I had a crap load of dudes, yeah.
We actually sat down next to Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Butterbean. That's where I was going with this, Butterbean. And Butterbean was in a wheelchair, couldn't walk. And now I see him on TikTok live videos and dudes running around like on a treadmill and doing all kind of crazy stuff. So shout out to what he's doing. Look, he even got Jake Roberts right. And that's insane.
Butterbean called somebody out the other day, and I want to see. He called out Jake Paul. Could Butterbean beat Jake Paul?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Well, let me ask you that. I don't know. You know, Butterbean's really, really old now, and as you mentioned, he was in really bad shape. He's not anymore. Could prime Butterbean have beat Jake Paul?
No.
No?
Butterbean was the king of the 4-rounders. He's gotten beat by some guys that should not even be in the ring just because they stayed away from him.
Yeah?
He couldn't hit anybody that was within 12 inches. You know, just kind of jabbed and moved around for 4 rounds. That's all he had to go. It was the shortest possible boxing match that you could have.
Nick, do you Richie Mott or do you disagree?
He knocked out Bart Gunn.
Yeah, he did knock out Bart Gunn decisively. How embarrassing would that have been for him if Bart Gunn would have beat his ass? I know we'll never know, but like, would that have been the end of his career?
It was the end of Dr. Dat Steve Williams' career, that whole tournament. I listened to way too much wrestling podcast. So I listened to John Bradshaw Layfield talk about that tournament and some of the stuff that they did. That was, here we go.
Spilling stuff, getting calls from home.
It was pretty legit, that whole deal, quote unquote shoot. It wasn't a work. They really beat the tar out of each other.
If y'all did it tough enough when supposedly you guys may have been involved in that, who would have won?
Not me.
GCW? Crazy Joe, probably.
Who would have won the indie wrestling tough enough brawl for all?
Man, that's a good question. Who was like the baddest?
Crazy Joe.
I didn't want to mess with. Crazy Joe I wouldn't mess with that guy.
No?
I don't.
All right, fair enough.
Any volunteers to
I'm trying to think, who's your most overrated wrestler?
Overrated wrestler.
I know you said you didn't like Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, but I think you concede that they were pretty good.
Oh yeah, they were legit. I just didn't. I didn't really care for them.
Bret Hart's still overrated, though.
Is it time to say yes
Goldberg.
Goldberg
was the worst. He was way overhyped for what he could do in the ring. That Bret Hart Goldberg feud that's still going on today. That's like two crybabies.
I was about to say, yeah. Look, I don't know too much about it from the Goldberg side because I don't really follow him much, but Bret Hart's kind of a baby, titty baby. He complains about, oh, bro, he kicked me in the head. He gave, like, dude, like, you never heard anybody ever? Like, come on, man. Bret Hart needs to chill out with some of that stuff. Who's my most overrated? Let me see. Let me think about this for a second. Like, I know I wasn't a big Bret Hart guy either. Current stuff. I mean,
Here we go.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
Dino Bravo.
We get that on the TV.
We're probably gonna get thrown off the internet.
Oh,
right
wait
now.
a minute. So like the people watching are seeing this? Oh, hell yeah. Dino Bravo, baby. The cigarette smuggler.
That's why he died.
Yeah.
That is legitimately why he died.
Yeah. He got murdered.
So I think to keep this legal, I have to put something over this. So we're gonna.
I know for sure if we don't have a monetized account, we're good for sure.
We probably have nobody listening.
Oh!
Just talking about this guy. This is great. Like
We saw him. We saw him, didn't we? In Morgan City, right?
yeah, somewhere we went watching.
Homer.
Yeah.
We definitely. Me
I
and
think I've
Damien
seen
got a
him
picture
twice.
with him in Homer.
No, I have seen him. It was Lawler that we saw in Morgan City. Yeah, Lawler.
That was the Tim Storm night.
Yes, and that was also almost a night where we all spent the night, God, behind bars. But another story for another day.
Yeah, we're not gonna mention what Nick did that night. DJ Keg, if you're listening, Nick apologizes now.
No, look, that Keg wasn't even the one who had it the worst.
No,
The Pedro game.
Yes. Hey, why you didn't play that 5? I thought you were going to get your ass kicked because you were stumbling around drunk and, like, you didn't go but they had, like, 2 or 3 games. They had some older people. You went and messed with the dude that looked like a weightlifter. Hey, dude, why you didn't play that 2? Nick, he's going to kill you, bruh. Like, I don't know how they didn't I don't know how Keg didn't fight you, but then, yeah, going and calling out cards at the Pedro game, that's usually a no-no.
I don't know why people let us go live and whatnot. Oh, we got chat.
We got people in the chat. Chat me up.
Have we been avoiding the chat?
Conrad Thompson, chat me up.
Hey, how long ago was this?
Oh, Tommy
Oh, 8 minutes
Botto.
ago. So we sent Tommy the link to join. Murda said something. I'm not reading this. Where's the fact of this Rougeos? That's a good question.
That is a good question. Do the Rougeos have the best?
This is a great chat, by the way. Tommy and Murda are going at it, so that's awesome.
That is awesome.
So if y'all still listening,
Awesome,
the
awesome.
chat is now being monitored.
Good.
Sorry I missed you.
Did we get Tommy situated?
I don't know.
Because, dude, I've been spending all day with attorneys on the phone trying to get them to sponsor, but I'm kidding, Tommy.
In for the ride, big back drop. Bravo's not used to being up there.
What's more over, the ho or the woo?
Back of the head, and he's on the top.
It's tough.
Oh, the woo. The woo's that's like nationwide.
Yeah.
Things not going
Look
to the
at
liking of the
Trav V
Burrow right now.
walking around the ring.
That his debut. And if I could find that, I'll pull it up.
Canadian earthquake.
Yes. Did you
When he
remember
came
his
out the crowd?
debut when he came out
Yeah.
the crowd and
Oh, yeah.
smashed Ultimate Warrior's back?
There was sit-ups with the dude on his back.
A double
The
blow
Canadian
from
earthquake.
Not sit-ups, push-ups.
Atomic drop.
So we're getting trolled right now that we have pop-up ads. It was not the pop-up ad. It was the stream was on a commercial.
Who's trolling us?
Jacob Gyro. Oh, no, that was Murder. Murder, jump on, bro. Come on.
Jacob Gyro. Say if he's trolling us, come clean up the vomit that you left in here, dude.
Here, this is awesome. We're going to do this every night.
What? I didn't see that. I was looking. What were you doing?
Oh, Bravo with the clothesline.
Murder's watching along, saying that it's not Keg. He's now known as Beer.
Oh, Keg he has now been demoted to beer. I haven't seen Keg in a while. Is he doing okay? My parents told me that they saw him at an eating establishment in Lockport. I don't want to shout them out, but maybe we might have a restaurant sponsor someday. Not that one. Oh, speaking of that, shout out to our new sponsor. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's take care of beeswax there. We got a new sponsor. Martin's AC and Electric, established in 1967. Look at Bravo just pummeling Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Like, Hacksaw, took his cigarettes from him and owes him something, just beating him to a pulp. Is the Mafia going to, come and hunt me down just for even mentioning this? Because supposedly it was the Mafia that did that to Dino Bravo.
Oh, guaranteed. There's a whole documentary about it, all the cigs he was slinging. By the way, quarter of the month, drunk cigs do not count.
Drunk cigs don't count. I would agree. Look at Earthquake. Look at Travi. Bring your sister hunting.
Is this the flag match?
No. Jimmy Hart's getting involved. Dino Bravo's about to clobber him with the 2x5. Oh, no. Damn it. Hacksaw got the... He's cheating, ref. Disqualify him. Hacksaw picks up a cheap win. And now he's getting pummeled by Earthquake. Who?
If you are on the line right now, hold on. We're going to figure this out.
Earthquake is a product of LSU, by the way.
Yep. My favorite Jesse Ventura quote was Survivor Series 89. Well, of course they're going to run out of the ring. They're coming in with boards. He's hitting them with a board.
Here's that big elbow. Bam! Earthquake delivers the finishing blow.
Man, why is this not working?
Have you ever been given a big splash by a big dude? Does it hurt?
No.
No. How do they make it not hurt?
Knees, hands.
Yeah.
Block it.
Head, shoulders, knees.
Tighten up.
Are you supposed to keep that kayfabe, or did you just break the bro code?
They outed the business years ago.
Nick just went into business for himself. Freaking Earthquake is destroying Hacksaw Jim Duggan. That's 3 big splashes.
That's 3 big booms.
Yes. Well, and he deserved. Look, Duggan cheated, got a cheap win.
Hitting him with a board.
Of course, Gorilla Monsoon thinks that's totally legal. The idiot referee don't see it and puts a
All right, let's see. While Damien figures this out, let's Nick and I get into the weeds here and talk about a topic. Let's see.
And here's how you pay for it.
I think we got one fan therapy, letting it all out after a tough loss. Well, we don't have any games right now, but I could ask you this. As a fan, either of you were big North Carolina, UCLA. Who's your soccer team? You got a soccer team?
I used to be Manchester United, but I don't really watch that much.
No? What's the hardest loss you had to endure as a fan?
Got to be the no call Nola.
Oh, yeah, you're a big Saints guy. I could see that. What were you in the building?
No. Funny story about that. We had season tickets that year. We had tickets for that game. It was a playoff game. This was one of the season tickets that you can buy them. We had tickets for that game. Tried to sell them. We had our tickets listed on Stobo.
Kinds of stays.
Didn't
for those
sell.
Who love family resorts.
We were driving all the way to the game.
And for those who do not.
About to park. And we get a notification our tickets sold.
Oh,
Find exactly what you're
was
looking
it
for.
was it worthwhile?
I mean, yeah, even looking back now, I'm glad I wasn't.
No, yeah, fair enough. I didn't even think about it like that. Look at DiBiase.
I thought we took the tickets off when we left. We didn't. So we got there, tickets sold, had to drive all the way home, still made the start of the game, and that happened. I wish somebody would have sued the damn NFL.
Yeah, if only there would have been somebody who would have had the balls to sue the NFL after that would have happened. Can I tell you a hot take? I mean, obviously that was 100% pass interference, no doubt. And if it's called, the Saints are going to kneel down and then kick a field goal and win. And
they beat the Patriots easily.
I think so too. But I don't think enough is made of the fact that they kind of choked in overtime. They got the ball first.
Yeah. Michael Thomas had a slant.
Yeah.
And just dropped the ball right after that.
And also enough is not made of the fact that after they kicked their field goal, they just let the Rams go straight down the field and get to like the 50 and kick their field goal. So, look, in no way, and I know I am
Didn't
a
we
Saint.
have like 2 pass interferences
Right.
You ain't fucking.
I didn't say we. You said we.
I'll say.
Not only 2 pass interference, we also let up a fake punt. Nobody gives that enough.
Who was that Rams punter that was better than any quarterback we've had?
The kicker was Zerline. The punter was it Hecker?
Yeah, Johnny Hecker.
But yeah, look, I am a Saints hater. I will wear it. But not enough is made of the fact that they still should have freaking won even after that nonsense with the no call. Does it piss y'all off every Sunday when you see Vinovich doing any game? Even though it wasn't him. I mean, he didn't throw the... It's not his call to make. But
close second to that would have been what had happened like the next year. The Stephon Diggs touchdown, the Minnesota Miracle.
Oh, yeah.
Or was it the year before?
That was before the no call. Oh, Damien and I had a good day.
The year after that one was the push off from the Vikings tight end in the end zone.
That was
$1 million
broadcaster, if I'm not mistaken.
Here we are,
Rudolph,
WrestleMania.
Rudolph.
It's the biggest
And
match
was
of your
Cousins their
career.
quarterback yet?
Why? Because everything you stand for
No,
is
Drew
on the
Brees'
line.
last game was the
Maybe
Brady
$1
game
million
without a crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It can be yours once
The
again.
fact that we have
You see, all
just an
you have to
unlimited
do to
amount
get
of
it back
heartbreaking playoff
go
losses
through
to come
Damien
to is probably
and
not
me.
ideal.
I was
But you
scrolling
see,
through TikTok
Damien
the
and I
other
don't
day, and there was a
forget.
guy
We remember
that had a
all
live
the
that had a
times you
top
made
10
people
list
grovel for your
of
money.
most
These
cursed
were people
franchises.
far less fortunate
And the Saints
than you.
weren't even in the top
People who
10.
could
What?
use your money
And
for
there was like
essentials.
500 people in there, so I'm
What did
like
you do?
frantically
You made
Saints
fun
in
of
here.
them.
Saints number one. Saints should be
You
number one.
humbled
I'm
them
like, dude, have a
and you
song.
humiliated them.
Like,
Well,
how
now
can
it's
you
my
not have the
turn.
Saints in your top 10?
I'm going to
The
make
Pels
you
are more
beg,
Browns,
DiBiase.
though, right?
possibly number
You are
one.
going to get down
Saints
on
gotta be
your
number two.
hands and
They're seeing this right now?
this time, you'll be the one that's
going.
humble.
Okay, yeah,
This
yeah.
time, you'll be the one that's humiliated.
See, I
And
I
this
always
time,
wish
you will be
that,
the one that grovels
like,
for
if
the
ever
money.
there, look at Jake this.
And how appropriate.
If ever there were a way to like
the money
go
you
back and
grovel for is
rewind
your very
life,
own.
I wish there would be a way to go back to that Minnesota thing, because we're all at the watch party at the Fed Pond. Everybody's furious. And then, like, when Damien and I's eyes lock together, we just both start cracked up laughing.
So Tommy was online for a second. His camera was on as I put this on. I'm going to continue. I'm going to put this on the loop.
Did he disconnect after seeing that?
Is it Nickel Roby Coleman or whatever?
Tommy, we still can't hear you. We want to, because this would be great.
Yeah, I see him smiling and laughing, but we can't hear him. Sean Payton is furious at the video. See, that's a great call by the officials, by the way. Let him play. Let him decide the game, right?
I'm a hater, and that's so bad.
I mean, the ball's on the other side of Roby
No,
Coleman,
that's an obvious foul. Yeah, that's an
but
obvious
that
foul.
should have been a penalty.
Even the biggest
Tommy,
hater.
look at Tommy here. He is
justifiably
Tommy is furious. As well, he should be. I wish we had his audio, because I would like to ask him what the process of suing the NFL was like. I mean, he was a big part of this. Someday we'll get him. Who was that? That was Tommy Lee Lewis. Why the hell were you throwing the ball to Tommy Lee Lewis on third?
He was wide open.
Wong Zhizhi?
God, man.
Your athlete appreciation show wins some love to Wong Zhizhi. Why do I know that name? Did he play for the Rockets?
Mavericks for
Maverick.
sure.
We're at the
Wong
Superdome in
Gigi.
New Orleans.
He was on the topic of one of the one more round Facebook posts.
Yeah. I mean, a big old Asian sin. I know who. I'm trying to think why I had such a connection. Let me see that. Wong.
And even worse, it would.
Oh, type it on the ZHIGG. I think he was a Rocket for a little while. I don't know why I think that. Or maybe he played against the Rockets in the playoffs.
Look, able to get out of there.
Thanks.
Loads and fires and why not? And it's intercepted.
It's not a troll
Let me see
at
if I
all.
can get them all. Number one's got to be against the Rams in the NFC Championship.
Who are we playing? It's the Bills?
Saints come to Tampa.
Wait, go back to that. Let's see what the headline said. It was the Saints and the Bills.
Saints have to have it. 4th down. 3. Got all his answers.
Scoring
Loads and
6
fires and
points.
why not? And it's intercepted.
Oh, that's Ian Book's start. That's not embarrassing on the national stage, but Ian Book was freaking terrible in that game. So they got Ian Book and the Bills beating the Saints as number 4. They have scoring 9 points in front. What?
Tommy said our audio
Pressure
here is
again. He's
killed.
down again.
It's loud.
There we go.
Getting embarrassed by Kirk Cousins. Getting embarrassed by Kirk Cousins again. These are not even close to the worst losses. This video is terrible.
Top 5 worst losses in Saints history.
Yeah, that's like
Versus
within the last
Rams.
couple of years.
The Rams, yeah.
Vikings playoff game.
You're
Maybe
forgetting
the
one.
Seahawks playoff game.
That one's pretty bad.
Because, I mean, weren't the Seahawks like 7-9 or something?
Yeah, and Marshawn Lynch just decided he wasn't going to get tackled.
The Bears playoff loss wasn't that bad.
Coach Colley was in the house for that one, by the way. He tells me about it all the time.
What else we got?
Come on, man. There's one that's jumping out from my childhood right out of the gate. Don't think playoffs. They weren't any good this year. But the freaking 1,000 laterals and you missed the extra point.
The Jaguars, Christmas Day.
Dude, yeah, that's brutal. Like, I remember watching that, and I actually was a big Saints guy then with my boy Boo Williams and Aaron Brooks and them, and you do all the laterals and you score, and then corny, like just, it's like, you know how you play NCAA and the meter, it's like the meter was here. He just shanked it into the stands. And he was usually money. He was automatic. I don't know what the hell happened.
He said in the press conference, it was the lag that got him.
Oh, God. Freaking kickers.
Like
man.
the internet lag?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he looked like his Wi-Fi skipped.
What would be number 5? If you expect the Saints to lose, it's usually not that disappointing.
Right. So, yeah, that's a good point. So, like, after they beat the Rams for their first ever playoff win, didn't they play Minnesota the next week and just got freaking blasted?
Who did we... We played Minnesota in, I think, the late 80s in the Bobby Hebert era, and just, I think it was 44-10 we lost.
Oh, Nick, you know what? And again, I was not a Saints dude for this, so I was actually rooting for this to happen. But you know a big one, and I think the Saints are actually the best team in the NFL this year.
Falcons-Saints playoffs in probably 1990, 91 with Dion when he had that pick 6.
Really? Look, dude.
Here we go. Worst Saints quarterbacks in the history.
Walsh.
Steve Walsh wasn't that bad.
Joe Walsh was terrible.
Yeah.
Let's see. Billy Joe Holbert.
I bet you there's going to be a lot from the 70s that we just never really heard of.
Look at Billy Joe Holbert. Billy Joe Tolliver.
That was at the same time.
That's when football was great.
Look, just throwing that home baby right to the defense. Beautiful. Werfel's going to be on there getting his head twisted. Everett wasn't terrible, was he?
Bad.
He was bad. I don't remember this era. I mean, the dude's 30 yards open and he missed it, so yeah, maybe.
I was at his first game. It was against the Lions.
Wade freaking Wilson. I do remember this. They started off 4-0 and didn't make the playoffs.
You got to have Heath Schuler on that list, huh?
Look at Wade Wilson. Werfel is about ready to
Here
get
we
his
go.
head pulled
Yep.
off.
Backwards helmet.
Oh, freaking Werfel. Tommy's boy. Touchdown, New England. Who's the next on the list? Schuler, there's your boy.
Man, in college, that guy was number 21. That was
I don't know when this video was made, but Ian Book's got to be on. Like, he played the worst game I've ever seen.
the fact that
Jake
NFL games are on
Yeah.
TNT. Oh, no.
No, Aaron Brooks
Oh,
is not.
no.
No.
He's
Got
in
our
the
first
top
playoff
2.
win.
He's in the
Who
top
made
2
this list?
quarterback.
Your Uncle Scott?
Let's say Aaron Brooks is one of the best in franchise history.
Easily.
He won them their first
Bohammer.
playoff game. Bohammer made the list.
Probably so.
Let me put this back on. I'm going to go try to get them.
Let me say, so the one that we're forgetting, getting back to the tough play, the Saints were the best team the year that they lost in the playoffs to the 49ers. Remember, they hurt Pierre Thomas early in the game. They took his helmet off, and Vernon Davis catches a pass over the middle in the end zone to beat him. It was like 43-39 or something like that. The Saints were the best team in the NFL that year, and San Francisco beat them. I think they would have won the Super Bowl if they would have won that game.
Saints 48ers.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, 2011 division. That's it.
What year they started out like 13-0?
Oh, the year they won it, they were 13-0.
That was the Super Bowl year.
Yeah.
Was it?
We started out, I think, 10-0 or so.
You know who beat them the
in
first time?
The Cha-Ching era.
Yeah, the Super Bowl year, the Cowboys beat them the first time with freaking
The 1991 Saints.
Why am I thinking of the year Dante Stallworth? Maybe his rookie year or his second year. He caught like this crazy touchdown pass against the Redskins.
That was
No,
when he threw an interception.
Yeah, he ripped the ball out the
ball.
defensive back's
Was it
hands and then
Stallworth?
scored. Yeah, I think it was Stallworth. Yeah, they picked off Breeze, and then he like pulled the ball out of the hands of the defender when after he had run a long way, and then went all the way back for a score. And the Saints were getting crushed in that game and came back. That was the Super Bowl year, I believe. Yeah.
Talking about just Saints moments in general. I remember there was a Rams game, and I don't know what year,
Flip
but
Anderson?
Jerome Bettis.
Oh God, I was in the building. Were you there
Same.
too?
I was there.
Dude, he
That was
freaking ran a
terrible.
rough shot.
Hail Mary against the Browns, I believe it was.
Tim Couch, yeah, the
Oh.
Brown. That was the Browns' first win since after they became the Browns again. But dude, I was in the building for that Bettis game. Like he ran for it felt like 700 yards. It was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
This is a test and tune night. We weren't really scheduled.
Yeah. We just
Turned
cutting
out to
up,
be pretty damn fun.
cutting up, having fun. Let me ask you guys this: do y'all remember the first Saints games that y'all went to? I mean,
I think it was against the Jaguars.
Yeah.
In probably late 90s.
It was,
Mid 90s.
It was the Wade Wilson year where they started off 4-0 and didn't make the playoffs. They played the 49ers. Martin Anderson kicked the game-winning field goal. I think it was 16-13. They beat the Steve Young 49ers and then just crumbled after that. But yeah, and then you had Wade Wilson. I remember Mario Bates was the running back, and he was just freaking going ham. And then he was a ham the rest of the year.
Whoever RCA is, appreciate that. We're like we said, we're kind of testing and tuning, so we're gonna just go ahead and take that volume completely off.
Just talking shop.
Yeah.
Hey, we need to know. We need to know what we got to fix.
100%. Appreciate y'all's feedback. Look at DiBiase working over Jake the Snake.
Easily, both of these guys in my top 10 wrestlers of all time.
People say all the time, "Oh, bro, he didn't need the title." DiBiase should have won the title.
Yep.
He should have won the title.
He bought it.
He bought. Yeah,
He bought it. But he also had one of the most giving gimmicks in the history of the world when kayfabe was not a thing. Or was a thing, and he had to act like he really had $1 million.
Remember when
Dude.
he cleared out that pool?
That had to have been so badass. Like, okay, so for the people who are not as big of wrestling marks as we are, obviously, some of this stuff is not as legit as others, but Ted DiBiase had the gimmick where, they would just load him up with a bunch of money and just tell him, he would be first class. They treated him like a rich dude. That had to have been the best.
He was basically the gimmick version of Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
That's what that whole character is.
Look at Virgil. By the way, whenever we do get our phone lines rolling, we'll be sponsored by the law office of Tommy J. Botto. He is the official attorney of the Group Chat podcast. He's our guy. And I said this yesterday, and I mean it. He literally is our attorney.
But as it's not working, we are sponsored by
I could have thrown out a name.
Hanukkah guy.
Something that was really funny last night, editing some stuff, and taking the transcript of the actual podcast last night and putting that into an AI generator to get the summary. Even that poked fun at Tommy, talking about the phone lines were jacked up, and he's the sponsor for that.
So even the AI was heel on Botto yesterday.
It was awesome.
Dallas leading Sacramento 43-35. Anthony Davis 2 of 9 from the field, just killing it right now. Look at Sabonis. Were you a big fan of his papa, Arvidas?
Not a big fan, but I had some respect for the dude.
So you didn't like him as much as Mark Henry?
The problem was that he played all his career in Europe and then came to
he was
America.
old.
Yeah, he was
when he was 36,
he
37,
was ancient.
and he could barely move. But he was a dog in Europe, from what I hear.
Dude, he even in the little bit that we got of him in the NBA, he passed the ball so well. If he played today, I feel like he would have been a freaking stud. He was a little bit late. I feel like he came here, or a little bit early rather. He
Who's better, him or his son?
His son's pretty good.
His son averages, I think, a double-double every night.
Yeah, his son's pretty good. His son don't play much defense, but, the dude that I love watching doesn't play any defense.
You get some participation tonight. This is awesome.
Oh, yeah, I love to hear it.
Can we cast the laptop to the TV? I'm missing out on the wrestling. The wrestling.
Nick wants to watch the wrestling.
Jump on that link, and you could.
You could watch the same thing that.
I was just getting a close-up of Casey.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, baby. Oh, somebody just threw down hard. Oh, that's your boy,
Najee Marshall?
Najee Marshall, of course.
All right, Murder, the email link has been sent.
Look at the $1 Million Man. Of course he wins. Of course he's celebrating with the $1 Million championship.
Great. Here we go.
Hold up. How you mute this?
Turn
You're
your
gonna have to-
volume down.
Freaking one wire short at all times. There you got it. Oh. Chris Jericho's coming back.
Are we watching the same thing?
Yeah, the Sacramento-Dallas game's on both.
You got a little wrestling on the phone there, Nikolai?
Bit. Who's this dude in the pink trunks? Is that the snake?
Damien's about ready to come out. Not this Damien. Oh!
Watching that WrestleMania 9 documentary, whenever Hogan and Beefcake opened up IRS and $1 Million Man's briefcase, there was legit money in there.
Come on.
It was like ones, fives, tens, 20s, and hundreds. So people
Damn.
were going all over the place.
How about Virgil, bro? Like, what an OG. The dude lied about his age so that he could get a gig, and then that gig turned into a lifetime of
Meat sauce.
meat sauce. Yeah. Oh! DiBiase just got planted.
Original out of nowhere.
Yes.
Somebody's echoing. Is that you, Nick?
Yeah, it's got. I don't have anything on.
Put the app on mute. Nick's got a...
It's really weird because I did it on mine and it just didn't mute. So I feel your struggle, Nick. Uh-oh, Jake. What do you think Jake's going to buy with that money?
Look at the volume board. Watch.
It just doesn't mute. By the way, for people who are watching, we are just we're spitballing, just testing crap out. We're going to be doing some stuff like this. Like, imagine how cool this is going to be. Like, right after a Salafoos football game in the fall, we just come in here and just start yapping. Get him out of there, Virgil. Attaboy. Attaboy. Hey, let me ask you this, Nick. Whenever you guys did a little indie, was there any animals involved? Did anybody have a snake or any gimmick?
Absolutely not.
No? Would you have been willing to let them put a snake on you?
No.
You're not a snake guy? No? Was there anything that they asked you to do that you, like, that doesn't work for me, brother?
I didn't have that much pull back then, but no. Whatever they said, I was usually like, yeah, no problem. Let's do that.
You bladed?
And they didn't really give us much direction. It was basically, you got 5 minutes. You got 10 minutes.
I thought you were going to say you got $5.
You get your shit in, you know?
Ooh, bringing the heat.
Now we got the E rating.
You ever had to blade?
Oh, yeah.
Did you do it or did the other guy do it?
I
too?
did it myself.
You did it? Okay.
Define had to.
Did you ever get hard way?
Hey, we had to. Well, I had to. When we won the titles in Gaines. Crazy Joe said, like, whatever terminology he used, and he said, if you don't bleed, I'll make you bleed.
Oh.
And I was like, golly, boss.
Yeah, I could see that. Have you ever bladed, Damien? No?
I was literally like 16 years old.
Clay for 3. Bang. Dallas is crushing Sacramento.
Akeem.
Akeem and Slick's. Oh, bro, dude, Slick is the man. Is that Tony Schiavone interviewing them?
No, that's
Mooney?
yeah.
Shut up, Mooney.
PDNSR.
What are you doing?
Who?
You.
I don't know. Somebody just put that. I don't know if I'm getting the chat.
Oh.
Yeah, we're watching. Yeah, we got some live reaction. Chat me up, as Conrad would say.
This is killing me.
Me and Nerd are just having our own chat.
Look at Akeem. You know Slick is cutting up right now, talking. Hell, I wish that he would be in this room right now with that promo that he's cutting. Oh, it's Akeem versus the Big Boss. So the tag team just broke up. I'm just trying to see. He's out there. He's aggressively saying something, but we
Cutting
can't.
a promo.
Yeah, he is cutting a promo.
Drinking from the biggest cup ever.
Oh, bruh, Mike Allstott was the best fullback in the history of the NFL.
That is true, he said. ED. That is true.
So, Nick, I was having this discussion with a friend of mine yesterday as I was watching the Warriors play. If Draymond Green was on any other team besides for Golden State for the majority of his career, would he be a star like he is?
Probably not.
Yeah, I feel like he was like the ultimate right place, right time, perfect situation, setting screens for Curry.
Got these finesse guys that are going to do all the shooting. You just got to do some dirt.
Look at Sabonis running the point, man.
Tell you, that dude's a dog.
My over is going to hit unless they do in the second half like they did to you in the Bulls game.
Hey, we're going to go ahead and end this, and then we're going to come back.
All right, yeah, let's do it.
Give us like 2 minutes. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back after these.